I mean, I always enjoyed the grind of it. I always enjoyed that. Like with training, like for instance, with people that get funny about belts or stripes, I never really cared about belts or stripes. I enjoyed training. And that was that. I just enjoyed coming to the gym. Now I still wanted to do better, and I would try to beat everybody in the gym. And I was like the classic white belt who would come into the gym, and it was like the world championship round every round.
Gary, does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. Right.
I was that dude till like blue belt, late blue belt, you know, so it is what it is. And a lot of us, depending on the time period you started in, a lot of us came up in gyms that sort of facilitated that because it was just these hard, rough nosed gyms where you would just go hard. At no point am I ever going to be like fully satisfied with achievement. I'm always going to want a little bit more. But I've at least gotten to a point where for myself, I'm like, I feel pretty confident like that I've done pretty well by myself. I've like a lot of us, especially as at least, I don't know, I can't speak for women, but I know as young men, we go through life and we go on these little adventures and these journeys in part to sort of like prove ourselves. You know, in a older tribal society or something, we would have had to do some initiation passage, right? And we had to prove ourselves to be a man to our society. In society today, we don't know. What does it mean to be a man? Who the hell knows anymore, right? And so we go on these little adventures to, I think, in some cases, to prove our worth to ourselves. And also prove our worth to those around us and say, look, I'm good at something. Look at me. And so at least for me, I got to a point where I could look around at all this stuff and both to people around me and to myself, I could say, you know what, I'm good at something. I've achieved something worthwhile. And so now everything else is just like kind of like a bonus. Let's go have fun with this. And it was interesting because once I got to that point and there was no pressure, everything like exponentially got better as far as like my mindset with things, but also like a lot of times in my performances on the mats and stuff like that, when there's no pressure on to win, like, and you can just go after things with almost a reckless abandon or a carefree attitude, it really allows you to open up a sort of a different door to yourself.